Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Your Own Business. This is our first episode, and in this one, it's kind of like a meet the co-founders kind of one. So you can get to know us, get to know the faces behind Plenty of Stuff Studio. So I am Kiana.
And I am Tim.
Yeah.
I'm not
Um,
normally this red, just to let you know. But yes, to
oh,
meet the faces, I'm not normally this red in face. Just to make sure that's clear.
yeah. Are you sure about that?
Right? Well, I hope not. Some sort of
Yeah.
like disease going around, but I don't know. So hopefully it clear up hopefully. So I'm not going to be red for too long. But
Well,
yeah.
that's good. So just in case you're wondering why he's so red, that's kind of cleared it up. But yeah, we're just going to dive into a bit about who we are, and actually let's speak about who we were before Plenty of Stuff Studio, so people can get an idea as kind of what led up to the studio and the business and all that. So, do you know what? You go first. Who were
No, you go
you?
first. Ladies first.
Me? Oh
Ladies
no.
first there, come on.
Feel like I was just a bit of a nobody, really. Just I just still am a nobody. But who was
No.
I before? Okay, so my background is in marketing and events. So I started working actually when I was about 16, and I went straight into doing events. Um, but being like in hospitality, so a waitress, like things like that, a barista at different events, fashion shows, etc. I did a lot of work at Ascot Racecourse, hostessing, that kind of thing. And I had a strong interest in that. So as the years went on, I left school and etc. I carried on, almost, I say, worked my way up in events. And I did more and more things like Chelsea Flower Show and bigger events. I worked at the driving experiences, Everyman Racing. That's where I started developing my sales skills because I then kind of moved into the sales side of things, and in commission, like upselling different packages there, etc., all that fun stuff. Um, and I actually really enjoyed that, but I knew I always wanted to go into marketing. And for me, I found it so interesting, digital marketing. There's so many different branches of it, right? And I wanted to take the apprenticeship route because I think learning on the job is invaluable, and being surrounded by people who can teach you real life experience. And you're not just, sitting there in college in a classroom saying, this is marketing and you do this. You're actually having to apply it in a real world example. So I did an apprenticeship. It didn't quite go to plan because I, in fact, did not have anyone in the organization I worked for who was into marketing. So I pretty much figured it all out myself. But the benefit to that was I had to do it. I had no choice. I would experiment, try different things. I had a business coach at one point. Forgotten his name. Sorry to whoever that was.
He
He
was
was
that good.
good.
Mr.
um,
Smith.
yeah, let's just say that. But yeah, I passed the apprenticeship, actually got a distinction. Yay. Had to do a bit of coding, principles of marketing, principles of business, did loads of different certifications that have many qualifications related to that. But that is my background kind of in a.
Was that quite scary going on your own doing that? So from like doing the apprenticeship?
Yes, it was scary because I had been researching about marketing and different things, but I didn't actually realize there were so many different aspects to it. Because I think a lot of people, even now, will group marketing together and, like, oh, yeah, I do marketing. But it's like, actually, you break it down and there's graphic design, there's copywriting, there's PR, there's strategy, there's event marketing, product marketing. There's just different types of marketing, B2B, B2C, like so much. And you learn about all of that. But it was scary because, like I said, apprenticeships, you should have almost like a mentor at all times. And I didn't have that. So I struggled a lot. And then there's exams you have to sit. And I was like, oh, like, I didn't even know I had an exam like next week. You have to build your portfolio, present in front of people. But I feel like it was really good for me.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
there more positives than negatives there?
Yes, I'm an optimistic person, so I'm going to say yes. There
Okay.
definitely were because Also, what it taught me was that you can learn any skill. I mean, there's like YouTube, you can, and actually, people forget you can actually just approach anyone, even if you don't know them. Like, you can find someone on LinkedIn and you could just message them and say, Hey, I see you're, I don't know, the director of this marketing agency. Can you teach me this skill or teach me how to do that? And quite often people are quite shy and they don't want to do that because, oh, I don't know them. But I feel like you have to be out there in order to get back what you want and progress quicker and actually see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. But
So you didn't go to university, did you?
I
You
didn't
sort of
I
went
didn't go
to.
to uni, no. I have my reasons. I also, fun fact, did not even go to college. So I will
Is that
explain the
why you
reason
can't
behind that. I'm just
spell?
not
You can't
educated.
read or write.
Yeah,
That's why.
exactly.
Got
No,
you.
the reasoning behind that was I knew I wanted to do an apprenticeship, and apprenticeships weren't that common when I left school. So I was telling my teachers I'm doing an apprenticeship, hadn't yet found one, and they were like, "Oh, you're going to ruin your life. You need to go to university." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to allow other people to dictate how I live my life. I know what to do. I've planned it out, and I'm comfortable and happy with that." And it worked out in the end. But I didn't go to college because they didn't actually offer digital marketing courses. And that is specifically what I wanted to do.
So when did you go there? Was it quite recent? Like the whole
The apprenticeship.
academy? Yes.
Yeah, my apprenticeship,
Apprenticeship, I mean, sorry.
completed that. Yeah, very recent. Actually, I started in 2021. So it was actually
Hmm.
during COVID and lockdown period, them times where I did it. So as well, that was difficult because it was like a fully remote classroom. I had never actually met people. You're supposed to like go in person and do this, but everything, even the exams were online. So it was a very weird time in my life.
Yeah.
But I'd up to that point, like I decided I'm gonna work, gain experience there, network, hence why I went into the event. I met some influential people, some people who are running their own businesses, learned from them, they mentored me and that side of things unofficially. And that's why I took that route, because I knew exactly how I wanted to get to where I wanted to get. And I wanted to have real life experience as opposed to sit down at uni and, coursework. And I'm not
Well, don't
necessarily a
knock it.
studious person, so yeah.
But would you recommend the path you took compared to like going to university, for example?
Yeah, it depends what you want to do. But if you want to do digital marketing, I would recommend doing an apprenticeship and but make sure you choose a good mentor, a good employer, and your apprenticeship provider actually support you and provide you with that mentorship. Because that's what I didn't have. But because I didn't really know what I was supposed to have, I didn't understand that they weren't meeting their criteria. So they kind of did me wrong on that part, but I feel like I came out okay,
I
right?
think it's just what you get out of it in the end. I think the
Yeah,
more you put in, the more you get out of it.
exactly.
Because unlike you, I went down the university route. So
Yes.
I'm the sort of complete opposite path, I suppose. So I sort of studied art, like fine arts at
Yeah.
university. And then from there, I sort of curated and organized my own art shows, which developed into web designing and graphic designing. So it's sort of like a natural blend from that design into that sort of thing. And then that went back into like an MA at university. But a bit like you, there wasn't really many design courses at the
Yeah.
time because I'm slightly older than you, but
Yeah.
not too older.
Just a little
So I'm
bit.
slightly older, but at the time, similar to you, there wasn't many design paths to
Yeah.
take because it's quite early on. So this whole sort of like the Adobe, like Illustrator sort of thing, wasn't really out there as much when I was
Mm.
back in the day. So it sort of
Back
developed
in the
more and
day.
more. Now people are more into like design and crafting and creating their own content. So it's a
Mm.
bit more open now, but compared to like 10 years ago, it wasn't
Yeah.
around as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, my path was something completely different to yours, which is like the university route, which didn't really have many opportunities out there. You had to sort of like basically make your own opportunities. So similar to
Yeah.
you, sort of thing, you have to sort of get out there, meet people, don't be afraid to sort of talk to people, and again, don't be afraid to make mistakes because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there that are just know people. They're not very like positive and sort of supportive. You just basically have to just learn from them and just ignore them basically and move on to people which are more supportive. That's what I
Yeah.
found in the whole industry of like the whole university to where we are at the moment. But yeah,
I agree. I think like both paths there, you kind of have to take ownership of your life. And if you
yes,
have a goal in mind, you're like, okay, this is where I want to get and this is what I want to do, then you can kind of put a plan together. And even if it's not the conventional plan or the conventional route, as long as you're okay with putting in whatever work needs to be done, then it will be absolutely fine. And that's it.
yeah, that's it. Full stop.
Yeah.
The end. Bye now.
Yeah.
But I agree. You need to know who you are
Mm.
and just stick to it and be open to learn. I think that's what I found in the whole education process.
Yeah, definitely. And don't let anyone tell you you're going to fail because loads of people told me if you don't go to college, you're going to ruin your life or throw away your life and you won't be able to get into university.
I
That was
told you that five
absolute
times,
nonsense.
okay?
Yes, Tim is
Tell me
one of them.
five
No,
times I told you that.
I'm joking. No, but don't ever let anyone say anything like it's your life.
No.
Full
I
stop.
think yeah, because I've had experience of that before, and
Yeah.
you get to the point where you go, just shut up, just whatever. You don't
Just
know,
shut up.
just shush, be shush. It's all
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
again, these people think they're like they own you, sort of thing. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't really not bothered. Whatever. You just move on. Again, there's more important things in life. You have to sort of like prioritize the most important things, and
Yeah.
there are people out there. I know I sort of keep going on about it, but there are people, businesses, and organisations which are jealous of what you're doing, and they sort of try to go against you or sort of put you down. But at the end of the day, you go, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to waste my time on you. You can waste your time on me, but I'm not going to waste my time on you.
I
I've
love
got
it.
more important things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm. But that's how Plenty of Stuff Studio came about,
that
right?
is yes,
Um, let's do a bit of an origin story. You tell it
yes.
because, well, you,
Well, do
yeah.
you want to start?
I
Once
mean,
upon a time.
you start because you were the idea came from you.
Okay, so going back, we were how we sort of met. We're both at the same marketing agency, I suppose.
Yeah,
So
we
we
were.
met there. So it was only like a brief stint. I was only there for was it about 6 months?
Yeah, then I left.
Then you left, and then about a month later,
Yeah.
the whole agency, all the staff were made redundant.
Hmm.
So we sort of from there, we sort of just picked ourselves up and from my point of view, I sort of had enough of just keep moving around different sort of businesses, doing the like different jobs, and start taking control of my
Mm.
own sort of career, I suppose, which led into starting up this marketing studio called Plenty of Stuff Studio. And after a while, it's started up, contacted Kiana, and we sort of joined forces and became two directors of this marketing studio slash agency. So we're sort of based in Hampshire, but we have sort of moved our studio from one location to another. And in that process, we sort of started about a year and a half ago, sort of thing. I
Yeah.
think that time frame. But we sort of learned a lot from there and developed a lot of skills,
Mhm.
experiences, and we've learned a lot. So the learning curve's been fantastic. But we've met a lot of clients, done a lot of meetings, done a lot of designing work, and a lot of stuff like this. Do you want to carry on?
Yeah, I mean, we've just done there's just a lot that we've done. When you start your own business, you might think, oh yeah, like we'll just do marketing and that's it. No, there has been
Yes.
so much behind the scenes. I think even finding just the admin side of things and understanding the legal side of things and okay, the compliance side of running a limited business company and then you got the whole accounting side of things and tax side of things and just there is just so much that you don't even think about when you're going to start a business, but you learn along the way and you're like, oh, like it's a legal requirement that we have this. And it's like, okay, let's go do this because we need to have it. And then someone will come and tell you something and you just have to make sure all your affairs are in order. And it's a lot. It can be quite scary if you don't know what you're doing. But I mean, thankfully, there's a few people around me who do run their own businesses. So you kind of get guidance from your friends or from people around you, or someone will say something, which is the good thing. But yeah, from there, we just built out the studio, plenty of stuff. And I think actually we work really well together because at our previous
Well, I
agency,
disagree there. Yeah.
oh, no. At our previous agency, I think there were a few accounts we worked on together, but we didn't do a lot of work together. But you
We just didn't
kind
do a
of,
lot of work.
yeah, just didn't do a
No.
lot of work, full stop. Um,
That's probably why we got all made redundant.
yeah, no one worked that. Um, I feel like you can get a vibe on someone's character.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing, like, from my
I think
perspective
we sort of
anyway.
bounce off quite well. We sort
Yeah.
of, even though I sort of do joke about a bit, I sort of know what I'm roughly doing. So
Yeah.
I don't always like put out what I know. I think it's sort of quite, I think that's a trait I've learned. Don't tell everyone what you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
Then you're sort of more secure. So the more you learn, just absorb it. Then
Yeah.
you know if anything were to go wrong, you can just pick up those pieces and sort it out yourself. But I think
Definitely.
we've got that mix of we've got different experiences, knowledge, and also I'm slightly like I said earlier, I'm slightly older than you, but you're younger than me, so you've got a different
Yeah.
idea of technology and how it works compared to
Yeah.
myself. So we sort of have those two mixtures combined, and it sort of works pretty well, I would say.
Does.
Would you
I would
agree?
say that. Yeah, no, I actually do agree. I think the different, like you've got more experience than me, you probably worked in loads of different industries, whereas because I'm younger, probably less experience. But then both of them experiences come together and we bounce off of each other. I'll say, oh, how about this? You'll say, oh, let's do it this way. And actually it works really well. And you get two different like backgrounds and experiences and you can create something that's more diverse, I'd
Yeah.
say, as well, and appeals to different audience types.
So I think the trick is not to be too like proud or have that
Yeah.
ownership of your work. You should
Yeah.
always have that element of having some sort of input by someone else to change it
Yeah.
because you always think, oh, that's quite a good design or quite a good like piece of text. Then you get someone else comes along and goes, no, we should take this bit out. How about if we change this? And then you have like two different people's opinion or more that you sort of get a better result from it. So it's
Yeah,
not always, you should always be open, I think. That's my sort
definitely.
of advice to anyone out there that's looking into to do something similar to in their own
Hmm.
business or anything.
I just have different ideas open to different perspectives and things.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I have a question. So, what is
Okay.
one thing the audience should know about each of us that does not appear on LinkedIn?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first?
I will, but you might be like, don't say that. But I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I
Don't say
hate
it.
the corporate world. I hate it.
Okay.
But I feel like it may appear on LinkedIn if you read between the
I
lines.
think I know where you're going. Yeah.
Hate the corporate world. I just don't like the rigidity. Is that the word? It's just rigid, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um, you just have
It's
to
sort
do
of like
things
the
very
80s,
quick.
90s, like all
Yeah,
the slick back hair, all the
yeah.
polished shoes,
The
when all the sort of weird
briefcases,
meetings.
suits to work, and
Yeah.
that's
And
not
it's
for
all
me.
it's just a language, the whole lingo. It's like you're
Yeah.
saying B2B sort of thing. It's like well, just make it easy.
Yeah.
No one really has time to
No
learn all
one
this like
cares.
jargon. And it's
No
all
one
just
cares.
rubbish. I find that the
Yeah.
more people that learn all this stuff, like the jargon, it's more about that, the jargon, and it's all about
Yeah.
the appearance and
Yeah.
instead of the actual what you can sort of produce. I think what
Exactly.
I find is just be open, be transparent,
Mm.
just be who you are, and know it's
Yeah.
like, all right, we can do this, we can do that. But don't need to be like, oh, you should do it this way, you should do all that, you should know how to do this SEO stuff. It's like, yeah, but you need to know all this stuff, but you don't need to be that sort of corporate individual to
Mm.
someone to sort of prove that you can do it.
Yeah.
Is that what you sort of mean?
That is what I mean. I just think like I don't like the facade that people have to
No.
put on to conform to like the corporate standard because the reality is I've got friends who work in the corporate world and I find it's entertaining watching them.
Yeah.
I'll watch them while they're on calls or they're doing this or doing that and I just think that is so far from who you are. No shade to
Yeah,
them, but they'll put on this voice when they're answering the phone, or they'll dress a certain way they would never dress. And I just think, are you happy? Like, do
yeah,
you like what you're doing? Like, you have to be someone else or pretend you're someone else. And now this
yeah.
is your life. It's just, it's not realistic, is what I'm saying.
I think that's why I'm quite like I am, because I'm sort of quite
Yeah.
jokey, bit more
Yeah.
not serious, but I can be because I always like to be the same person 24/7. I don't want
Yes.
to be if I meet someone. I know you should sort of respect them, but you shouldn't really be someone different for them. So you
Yeah.
should always have that, and also being yourself just opens up. Going, this is who I am. Sort of deal with it, and
Mm,
then we can just get on with things. So we've had like clients where we just go, look, we can just do this for you, and then they just sort of gain trust over time. And it's like you just don't change who you are for the like industry that you're in, if that makes
yeah.
sense. You should
Yeah.
sort of have respect, but you shouldn't sort of change your own
Yeah.
personal character to meet that standard.
Because people can tell when you're not being your authentic self, and it actually puts this barrier up of like, what are they hiding? I can't trust
Yeah.
them because they're just not being themselves. I totally agree with that.
No. Because I used to work in London.
Okay.
In my experience, so after university, I went to do like an internship in London, but there
Ooh,
was just a lot of that. There's a lot of like fakery, and you
yeah.
just get to the point where it's like, can you just prove what you can do? It's like, what? This is all just lies. Can you just pretend or not pretend to be someone that you're not
Yeah.
trying to be? If that makes sense, it's just
Yeah.
get on and be and just do the job. And
Yeah.
sometimes there's a lot of like this sort of, yeah, like I said, a lot of jargon out there that doesn't need to be. Just basically like just say what it is, explain it, what this is, and just crack on. There's just a
Mm,
lot of stuff where it's like, oh, how do you not know this? It's like, well, I do know that. I just don't need to learn the whole concept of like all the things around it to make it bigger than it is.
yeah.
So I think we're sort of quite good at that. We're sort of just knock that out of the park, sort of thing. All this sort of this
Yeah.
clutter you don't need in the business world, especially after like COVID. I think COVID's knocked a lot of that anyway. I think people are a bit more open to like, oh, what can we do for things in their own business or in the business world? And
Definitely.
yeah, it's just knocked down this whole sort of fakery, I find.
Yeah, and I think people get so caught up on titles and positions. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the CEO, and it's like, okay,
But
cool,
yeah. But in
nice.
reality, you can just call yourself anything.
Yeah,
Like you
that's
could
what you
be,
can go on LinkedIn and just say,
it
I'm the
doesn't,
CEO of this, I'm the director of this. Okay,
yeah,
no one's bothered. Well
yeah.
done, like well done for that hard work, but again, no one's bothered. How do you
I could call
treat
myself an
people? Like,
architect and have
yeah,
no sort
literally.
of
It's
no
just
experience
yeah.
whatsoever. But I can be an architect. I can just do
Yeah.
a line drawing, and it's like, there you go, I'm an
Aspiring
architect now.
architect, award winning.
Award winning. You just create your own awards.
Yeah,
It's all just
literally.
again. Don't
Yeah.
always believe all this stuff out there. It's like these
Yeah.
awards. It's all just a bit.
Yeah.
If you pay enough
It's
money, you can
iffy.
get the award. It's like
Yeah. Oh
don't
my
believe
God.
everything you see out there. But the same question to me, sort of thing, I would say the same. I know it seems a bit like a cop out, but I think, yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't like people thinking they're more than they are. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
I'd rather know who you are or someone that's willing to try than someone's just lying. So,
Yeah. I don't like that. Just be transparent, like you said, be who you are. And as well, like a lesson that I've learned, someone actually, random person, I think it was their like way of, I don't know, sales anyway, on LinkedIn, they just messaged me like, hey, what's the biggest lesson you've learned this year? And I was like, oh, like, okay, no introduction. But I just said, look, like, for me, it's like just being genuine and being
yeah,
yourself is going to open more doors than any qualification ever would. It doesn't matter how qualified you are, how this and that. Like, actually, your experience, who you know, and how you treat people is going to say more to others than anything else can. Just be yourself, and that's
yeah.
it. And I
It's
stand
really
by
that simple. It's not that difficult.
that. Yeah.
Just be willing to learn and just be yourself.
I don't know if you've got anything else to say, but I'm gonna like wrap this up. Don't want it to be too long, just to give people an insight into who we are.
If you have to, I get the hint.
Don't worry, we'll be back for more.
I'm boring. You don't like the red. That's a red face that puts you off. You just don't
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like I can't
Not your colour
stand the
scheme.
red.
I try to
Um,
put foundation on, it just doesn't work. The thing is, I look fine, apart from in the camera. So in the
yeah,
mirror, yeah. But you always do that. You always
conventional.
look different in the mirror than on the camera. So
Yeah, I actually sometimes wonder how I look to other people. Like, you've never seen yourself. You
No,
could look in the mirror, but
you can
I want
never
to
see
meet
yourself.
myself, but just never will.
There should be like a double mirror, so you can see
Yeah.
yourself. So you see the reflection of the reflection, so you actually see your
Yeah.
true self.
Yeah. One final question then. What can listeners expect from this podcast? And why should they
I
come
think
along
it.
for the ride?
Well, stay tuned and find out. I
Oh,
think
okay. I
there you
like
go. There you go. That's an answer for you. That's like a movie
it.
actor
Stay tuned for that.
answer. That is.
Expect the unexpected, is what I'd say.
Well,
Just,
I think it's because it's still quite new. We're
yeah.
quite new, so it can go in different
Thank
directions.
you. Yeah.
So we'll
Just,
find out.
yeah, we'll find out. Thank you so much for listening to our first ever episode. Hopefully, I know you'll be back for more. Um, like Tim said, stay tuned.